Hello everyone, welcome back to the English grammar class. In this video, we are going to learn about verbs, principal verb and auxiliary verb. We are going to learn the definition along with examples and do some exercises. By the end of this video, you will be able to identify verbs in any sentence. Let us begin with the definition of verb. What is a verb? A verb is a word that denotes an action or predicates effect. The definition means that any action done by someone is called a verb. And also when an action is not done by someone, but when we simply give a statement or effect about the subject of a sentence, the word which is used to state effect is called a verb. Here are some examples. Examples of actions. Number 1, we came by bus. In this sentence, the action is came. Came is the verb. Number 2, birds fly in the sky. In this sentence, the birds are doing an action, that is fly. Fly is the verb. Number 3, I shall sing a song. Here, shall sing is the verb. Now let us see examples of facts. Number 1, Raju is a good boy. Raju is not doing any action, but we are simply giving statement about Raju or fact about Raju that he is a good boy. In this sentence, is the verb. Number 2, Lucy was a pretty girl. In this sentence, the verb is was, W-A-S, was. It gives statement about the person Lucy. Lucy was a pretty girl. Number 3, we are good friends. In this sentence, are is the verb. Now let us check our understandings about the verbs. Let's do an exercise. Pick out the verbs from the following sentences. Number 1, Lata sings a song. In this sentence, which one is the verb? Let us see the action in this sentence. Here the action is sings. Sings is the verb, so we have to pick out sings. Number 2, Bob writes a letter. Here the verb will be writes. Number 3, the player kicked the ball. In this sentence, the action is kick. So we have to pick out the verb kick. Number 4, I have 2 eyes. This is a statement. In this sentence, the verb will be have. We have to pick out have. And number 5, the dog is a faithful animal. Here, is the verb. This is also another statement about the dog. So, the verb here is is. Let us learn the 2 kinds of verbs. One is principal verbs or main verbs. 2, auxiliary verbs. Let us learn in detail about the principal verbs and auxiliary verbs. Number 1, principal verb. Principal verb express an action by itself. It does not require the help of any other word to express its meaning. So principal verbs is very independent and it can express itself. It does not need the support of any other word. Some of the principal verbs are lift, love, sing, write, play, sit, send, move, buy, know, see, etc. Let us see some examples. I lift this lot. So, the verb here is, or the principal verb or main verb here is lift. We love our motherland. In this sentence, the principal verb or the main verb is love. Number 2, auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verb helps principal verb. It cannot stand on its own. It requires the principal verb to express its meaning. So auxiliary verbs always need the support of principal verb. It is also known as the helping verb. Common auxiliary verbs are are, was, were, has, have, do, does, can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would, need, dare, ought to, used to, etc. Here are some examples. I can lift this lot. Here, the auxiliary verb is can. Can is helping the principal verb lift. The auxiliary verb can shows us ability of lifting. The next one, we should love our motherland. In this sentence, the auxiliary verb is should, and should is helping the main verb love. The auxiliary verb should shows duty or obligation. It is our duty to love our motherland. The next one is it may rain today. Here the auxiliary verb is may. May is helping the main verb rain. So it shows us the uncertainty, probability, and the possibility of raining. So the auxiliary verbs adds the meaning to the mood of the principal verbs. As we have just learned about the principal verb and the auxiliary verb, let us do an exercise. The question is, say whether the italic words are auxiliary or principal verbs. The first question is, we play games every evening. Here the italic word is play. As we don't find any other verb, this is the only verb in this sentence, we can say the word play is principal verb. Next, Lucy has read this story. The italic word here is has. Let us see or find any other verb in this sentence. Yes, there is another verb, read. Here read is the main verb, the principal verb. Has is the helping verb. So we can say has is auxiliary verb. Next, we may help you in trouble. In this sentence, the italic word is may. Since there is also another verb, main verb, help, we can say may is auxiliary verb. The baby is laughing. Here the italic word is, and there is also another verb, laughing. Since there are two verbs, is the previous verb will be auxiliary verb because it is helping the main verb. Next, the baby is beautiful. Here the italic word is again. But there is no other verb. Beautiful is not a verb, it is adjective. So this is the only verb in this sentence. Since it is the only verb, we can say is a principal verb. Next, I have a pen. Here have is the italic word. There is no other verb. It is the only verb in this sentence, so we can say have is a principal verb. And the next one, I have bought a pen. Here the italic word is have. And there is also another verb that is bought. Since there is another main verb, we can say have is an auxiliary verb. So this is the end of the lesson. We have learned about verbs, principal verb and auxiliary verb. From now on, you can easily identify the verb in a sentence and also principal verb or auxiliary verb in any sentence. Thank you very much for watching. See you again. Bye bye.